Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Making It Happen with Lynda and Matt. I'm your host, Matt Zimmer, and with me always,
I'm Lynda.
Lynda Joyce Brown.
That's right, Lynda Joyce Brown.
How's it going, Lynda?
It's good.
Good.
It feels good. It's a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on location at UC Irvine Business School.
Right, appropriate place.
It is.
I love it.
Lynda, have you been here before?
Not to this part of the campus.
No?
But you have, right?
I have.
You graduated from here.
I did.
gosh.
10 feet that way.
Nice.
7 years ago.
Whoa.
8 years ago.
Doesn't it feel like just yesterday? Or
in
no?
some way, yes. In some way, no.
Yeah. They even built a building since you've been
They
here.
did. They built a lot of buildings. They're building a bunch of buildings now, so apologies if there are construction noises.
Yeah,
but,
that's all right. It's good. It's progress.
Yeah.
This is good.
Anyway, so we're at the business school. We're going to be talking about business.
Yeah, that's good.
So
It's appropriate
we're in the right location. For those of you who don't know, we are sponsored by EE, a startup services for technical enterprise company. If you need sales, marketing, pitch deck support, really anything that could be outsourced for your startup, EE can help you.
Yeah.
So check it out. So today, I kind of wanted to probe your brain a little bit.
Okay.
I
Fasten your
know
seatbelt.
that might be scary.
Very.
But what I'd really like to probe into is just getting a little bit deeper into the sales process.
Okay.
And I know what we spent a lot of time working on is really you kind of relaying information to me about really kind of the emotional, the EQ kind of side of the sales process, and it's something that like I wasn't even aware of.
Right.
I think
so for those who don't know, Matt's the IQ and I'm the EQ, right? And that's good.
That's fair.
I always wanted to be the IQ, but okay, I was born with EQ, so there you go.
So, what's been interesting to me is not that I think when you've talked to me a lot about this stuff, like intellectually I understood
Got it. Yeah.
But being able to see what you saw and cueing in on it and intentionally directing my behavior was really something that I couldn't do. I kind of had my mission and I'm gonna do whatever I had. Not to say that I couldn't maybe see or garner little bits of information from the conversation, but anyway, so as we've kind of talked through that, I'd like to dig a little bit deeper into kind of what do you see when you're talking to someone and you're kind of moving through the sales process. What do you see? And then based on kind of some of those things, what you see and kind of how maybe you categorize different types of people, what's your strategy and how do you kind of maximize the time that you have not only with a single person, but kind of the time in your day? You can't spend all your time going after one person if you kind of have assessed it and it's not the right way to spend your time.
Right. So what's the first question? What do I see?
Yeah. So maybe just kind of how do you break down different customer groups? How do you break down personalities?
Okay. So I always start with the hello, and that's just to I do a litmus test.
Sure.
And if they're very standoffish, then I'll just break the ice like, hey, are you having a good day or how's it going? So for example, when you and I had a meeting with a gentleman and we were looking into some workspace, I was just kind of trying to see how his day was going and what he was thinking or feeling without him knowing it.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So you it's like, this is another thing I didn't understand about sales, like warming up the room is really important in the process.
Yeah, I've been in trouble for chit-chatting where I was in my old life in Nordstrom, I was in the back stock and I would be on the phone calling customers and they thought I was just yucking it up and chatting away where, for example, I would just see how their day was going and was it appropriate at that moment to follow up with some clothing because I used to sell men's suits. And if they were like, I'm really busy, I usually ask permission, do you have a quick second to talk or do you have time to talk? Oh yeah, and if they're just kind of chatting, then I feel like, okay, it's in a safe zone, safe place that I can talk.
Sure.
So that's what I'm trying to gauge the temperature.
Okay.
If they're having a stressful day, I just honor it and then...
Okay, so that's kind of your first test is
how are they?
Like if they're stressed or whatever, they're just not who they are. So you're
Right.
kind of you're not. It's not going to work.
Yeah, like let's connect another day, another time.
So once you get past that,
Yeah.
like how do you what types of categories do you kind of
Okay.
break people into, and
So-
maybe what are you looking for to?
Okay, so there's all these type of personality tests that you can take online, but there's one author that I connected with. Her name is Gretchen Rubin, and it's called the 4 tendencies. So there's these
Okay.
4 personalities. So I'm going to look at my notes. So the upholders, those are people who cross their T's and dot their I's. I don't.
Detail oriented.
Very detail oriented. I hope to cross my T, but I usually do.
Okay.
Dotting the I, not always, but it's someone who is very, let's say your things just so in a
Okay.
box, okay? And it's a compliment because we need you.
Okay.
We need engineers. We need CPAs. The next one is questionnaire. They ask questions about everything, and they just have to keep asking no matter what. Even if it's, this is your bottled water that you always drink and you like it, you're still going to ask me questions. Well, why do you have the bottle? What's the bottle for? And why? Blah. And so just keep going. Okay.
Information hounds.
Oh, yeah. I like your words.
Okay.
They're easier. They're easier to absorb. So,
That's all right. I got you.
yeah, thanks. And so next is the obliger, which is me. I meet outer expectations but struggle with my own sometimes because I always set the bar super high. And so then while I'm procrastinating my own level, I will start accommodating you, like, what can I help you with? What do you need today? What, do you want me to go get you some water? Do you want some coffee? And you're like,
Got
oh
it.
my gosh.
Okay. Again, so putting
Others before.
really others before yourself,
Yeah.
which is okay to a degree.
Yeah, then it's.
But it can get out of hand.
Absolutely. And,
Okay.
people pleaser can be a curse to a
Sure.
point.
Yep.
But people pleaser can be a gift too.
Sure.
So, and then the last one is a rebel. Anything you say is bad, won't work, it's not good, that plane will never fly, the world's flat,
Right.
whatever.
So people that are negative.
Oh, perhaps.
Okay.
Yes. Or,
You know what's funny, Linda, is as you're going through this,
Uh-huh.
I've had conversations where honestly, like I fall in.
all of them. Of
all
course,
them.
yes.
So
They
my
intersect.
gut tells me that everybody kind of falls a bit in
Right.
every single one of them, but
Right.
it's kind of where do you spend most of your time?
Right. And so for me, I'm an obliger, but sometimes I can be a rebel and then go outside the box.
Got it.
And so, or I can be an obliger, but I'm going to question.
So are you trying to figure out where this person spends most of the time?
Yes.
Most of their time? Are you trying to figure out where they are at that minute when you're talking to them?
Most of the time, like, what island are they on? Are they on the rebel island? Are they on the upholder? And so then I can kind of maneuver how I'm talking to them where it would work best for them.
Okay. But like that's kind of in the moment of the conversation, right?
Absolutely.
Like, so if I'm in a rebel mood right now,
Yeah.
like I'm a rebel.
Yes,
and
you are.
You're not going to shift me over to that other
No.
island in that moment.
Right.
Maybe at some other point in my
Yeah.
day or later in the month or whatever. But in that moment, you're probably not going to change.
Right.
Where I'm.
So at that moment, I would say to you, maybe this isn't sinking in, but here's some food for thought. So later, at another time when you're open to it, just reflect back on this conversation.
Okay.
So I kind of do what they call is either forward thinking, progressive thinking, future conversation.
Future pacing.
Yeah, that's the word.
Okay.
Future pacing.
So you've got kind of these 4 categories, and you identify maybe where somebody is, and then you kind of got a gut feeling for,
Yeah.
hey, this is what, like,
Yeah.
there's something going on in their day. I actually
Right.
think they're this, so
Right.
you kind of
Yeah.
get a strategy in your head.
Right.
How do you like? And again, there are varying levels of
Sure,
gray
sure,
between
sure.
this, but for each one of those personality types, like what is your approach to actually maybe not landing the sale, but progressing the conversation?
So then I'll ask for their opinion. So what
So
do you,
for each one of them, you have the same
yeah,
approach?
I mean, the rebel, I would say, say a good day. Are you up for giving me your opinion? So, and then maybe a questioner, I would say, are you open to giving me your opinion?
Okay.
So I would give the same,
So you're asking the same question, you're just asking it differently.
yeah, to the point
So-
of this moment.
So what do you, when you, I mean, those are real nuanced,
When you say nuance, what do you mean by that?
that's very detailed communication.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Oh,
like,
is it? Okay.
altering those words.
Yeah.
I don't even think about that most of the time.
Oh, really? I practice this all the time.
It comes out of my mouth.
Oh, yeah, maybe not a good thing. Just saying.
Well, I mean, it's, my mouth moves faster than my brain.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Um,
Most people do. Let me
so-
put the muzzle on, Matt. I'm just joking. No, I'm joking. Sorry.
So, I mean, one of the things I've learned is actually to speak slower.
Right, which is hard because our brains move really fast.
Sure.
Super fast.
Well, and my mouth moves fast too.
Yeah, right.
It depends on where.
Right.
So I guess, how do you, like, for an upholder versus a rebel,
Right.
like, maybe you don't need to give me the specific words, but like, how are you thinking about, how do I construct this sentence? What do you, like, the rebel, you're feeding, it sounds like you're feeding into, they want to be the authority.
Right.
And so you're like, I'm going to let them be the authority.
Right. I honor.
For like an upholder, I'm sorry to speak over you. For like an upholder, like, how, like, what are you thinking about? Like, what do I need to make this person feel? What do you, like, you get what I'm asking?
Yeah. So I always honor their position.
Okay.
So, for example, I would, if you were an upholder, which you kind of are, because you're an engineer, mechanical engineer brain, I would honor, wow, you have a lot of experience in this situation. So I would honor and validate, which is true from my heart. I would never BS anybody.
Sure.
I would honor their position.
Okay.
And like, so a questionnaire, I'll say, oh, these are great questions. I'm glad you're asking me questions because I truly am. I'm really glad to be a part of everyone in this person's personality.
Got it.
I personally like that because I'm learning every moment.
So what's the goal then? Is the goal, I mean, this kind of goes back to the last episode. If you haven't checked it out,
Yeah, you should.
You should. But, we talked about,
Fear of missing out, or not?
no, we talked about, like, not every person is your customer.
Oh, right, absolutely.
You can't land every single sale.
Right.
But, is part of this about just continuing the conversation forward?
If there's a connection, if I'm feeling comfortable talking to that person and that person likes talking to me, then I
Right.
want to move it forward.
Right. And at some point,
I'm going to say, are we a good fit? Is this a match for you? Do you see your company or you using
right.
our services?
Right. So it's really just, hey, this is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a fit, maybe it isn't.
Right.
But really,
Right.
what this is a discovery process of finding out whether it's a fit or not.
Right. So my goal is,
That is so hard for me to conceptualize.
and I understand that, and there's no way I can multiply my 12 times tables in my head either.
No, I mean, when you
which is
say,
weird.
like, when you say it, like, I get it.
Yeah. Right.
I think I always had, like, there's a goal to this conversation.
Oh.
When in reality, the goal is to figure out if there is a goal,
Right.
almost.
And the goal is, are you my friend? Are we professionally and business minded, compatible?
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
And if we're not, and you're thinking crazy thoughts of learning how to make cement, I'm like, no, or whatever.
Well, it's also good from a, not like, maybe it sucks to not land a sale, but from a business standpoint, like, I don't want to be working with people that are going to drive me nuts.
Right.
Like, regardless if there's money
Right.
or not.
Right.
Like, this is how I work.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to respect that. If you don't respect that, like, dude, I don't want to.
Right.
We don't need to do work.
Yeah, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time.
Sure.
Because usually what I'm doing, for people who don't know, is I'm trying to find customers who are fit for you to help because you're an entrepreneur. And so I like to go through the steps. Mm-hmm. Do you need our services? Do you need, Matt's an entrepreneur. Do you want to learn how to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
And so I kind of go down those questions and they're like, nope, I like working for the government and I never want to leave my government. I said, okay, that's great. We're not a fit.
Yeah.
I honor that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to do a process of elimination really quick.
Sure.
Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah,
Does that
for
seem
sure.
too vague or?
No, I mean, like, I think what I've learned about sales is it is a little vague.
It is, because you're always trying to figure out. It's like finding a parking space.
There's no, like, it's not to say there's not tools to help with sales
Right,
and maybe help
right.
your memory and stuff like that, but, at the end of the day, it's about human connection and human contact, and, like, there isn't, again, that's not to say that there isn't an
Right.
app to help with that, but there isn't an app to do that.
Right.
Like, with engineering, like when I need to engineer something, there's all sorts of different. I guess it's similar. There's tool sets. Maybe it is similar. It's just
I wouldn't say you're more in a task connection where I'm more in a human connection. If that makes sense?
Yes.
Because you did design how to package products, the beverage,
Right.
things like that. Where me, I go in and go, who's my friend? Who wants to be my friend? And that's really not how an engineer thinks. They're like, okay, where's the job to be done? I'm here to do it.
Yeah, but for you, the job to be done is finding out who's your friend.
Yes, who's my friend? Yes, right,
You know?
right.
So, I mean, there is a job. It's just,
It's a
like
connection.
maybe for me, for like an engineering job, like I can do the job on my own.
Right.
I don't really need anybody. Now, that may not mean I make the right thing.
Right.
But I can do it without ever talking to anybody.
Right.
With your job, you cannot do your job without
right.
talking to someone.
Right.
It's impossible.
Right. And it's in my DNA. I wake up talking and I fall asleep talking.
Yeah.
And I talk in my sleep, I'm sure.
I'm sure you do.
But I have so many thoughts in my head that I need to get them out, like you do as well. But I feel like I'm a connector. I want to connect people to the right position. And even when I'm talking to them and I'm trying to establish what they need, I can contact them or connect them to completely somebody different.
Sure. That's what's missing on your chart, connector.
Oh yeah, totally. I think it is. That's not included.
Cool. Do you got anything else kind of on the topic?
Basically, if you love what you do and you do what you love, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
And I like to connect people and what their passions are. So, starting a business is their passion. I want to connect you.
Cool. Well, you're good at it.
Oh,
so
thanks,
keep
thanks.
doing it.
Okay, thanks. And you too. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
I want you to fly the plane, not me. I'd be like, oh, look at the shiny buttons.
I want to build the plane.
Oh, okay. You can build the plane.
All right. Well, I think that's it.
This is good.
All right,
Thanks.
cool.
Thanks, Matt.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for making it happen.
Yep.
We'll continue next week,
Yeah,
and
That's good.
hope you do the same.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lynda.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right. Take care. Bye.